Hey guys, so today I would like to talk about Xbox Series S, because let me tell you this, I was wrong about Xbox Series S, and even though we are just halfway through this generation and things may still change, I've got some new thoughts on Xbox Series S and how it's actually doing right now, so let's look into it. But before we look into it, let's check iniba.com. They offer games for Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo and PC, and they always have a ton of games on sale like this last minute gifts under $15, so let's check them out. So for example, Disco Elysium is a great game, so yeah, let's grab this one. So let's check the cheapest one, so this is the cheapest one. Let's buy it now, and also we can add more to the cart. So Control is a great game too, so let's add it to the cart too. Now all we have to do is to proceed to checkout, and that's pretty much it, guys. Select a payment of your choice and you are done. So guys, iniba.com, link you will find in the description of this video below. Okay, so let's talk about Xbox Series S and what the hell I was wrong about. Okay, so when Xbox Series S was first announced, I was like, hey, it makes sense, less powerful but also cheaper console. A lot of people will want to buy it, right? I mean, that's usually the case. People want to save some money, and this is still a next-gen console, yes, with a number of limitations, let's face it. No optical drive, obviously lower specs, less storage, unless you buy extra card for SSD card, right? So obviously it has its limitations, but also it has a very low price. I mean, during the holiday season, there were deals where people were able to buy it for $180, right? Plus Game Pass, I think 3 months of Game Pass or something like that. So there was quite a lot of deals, but you know what? That actually didn't really move the needle, meaning that actually more people bought Xbox Series X, more powerful and more expensive console than Xbox Series S, and that's why I'm saying that I was wrong, because I really thought that Xbox Series S would be the better selling console, especially during holiday season when a lot of parents buys their kids consoles, and they actually, price actually matters. Obviously the economy right now is not at the best shape right now, inflation and everything, and still people actually go for more expensive consoles than Xbox Series S. And because let's face it, like back in the days, if a console reached like the price below $200, these consoles would sell like hotcakes. But that's not the case with Xbox Series S. And that's very surprising to me, really, because I really thought that the price actually matters. And I understand that PlayStation is still the top dog when it comes to console sales. But like I said, it's still surprising to me. So what does it mean? Well, it means that if something won't change, and who knows, like I said at the very beginning of this video, we are only halfway through the generation. I guess for both PlayStation and Xbox. I mean, Xbox is apparently, reportedly, is planning to release their new console, next-gen console, like in next 3 years. So that may be even shorter for Xbox, but genuinely speaking, things may still change, I guess. When Xbox will have rights to Call of Duty marketing, because right now it's still with PlayStation, even though Xbox owns Activision, but they do honor these kind of deals. But next Call of Duty will be full Xbox game, meaning it's not exclusive, of course, but marketing rights will be with Xbox this time around, so they will be able to sell bundles with Call of Duty and that kind of stuff. So who knows, maybe next year this will change. Maybe Xbox Series S will sell better, right? But right now this holiday season did show that people were more willing to pay more to get more, if you know what I mean, right? And that's both with Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5, because PlayStation 5 is selling like hotcakes, even though it's still more expensive console. Xbox actually ran a number of deals, very good deals on both Xbox Series S and X. Throughout the different countries, really, US, Europe, and stuff like. So genuinely speaking, like they really were trying, like they were really lowering the prices to compete and stuff. But listen, Xbox Series S was only $180 this holiday season in many places, and it still didn't sell. Like, most people, I'm not saying that people in general, but most people are not interested in this console. Now, I mean, I could give you a number of reasons why not to buy Xbox Series S. I mean, I think it's a great console for kids if you don't really want to spend much money and kids don't really care about, specs per se. But I don't know, like, looks like this more power marketing really on both sides, because like Xbox was talking about the more powerful console, and PlayStation was pushing, like PlayStation wasn't really pushing the narrative about PlayStation 5 being more powerful, but they were talking about the super fast SSD, and obviously the first a year and a half, 2 years were actually better when it comes to performance for PlayStation in many games. So I guess that kind of did set that narrative, and there was quite a lot of issues when it comes to game optimization on Xbox Series S, and I guess that's reached quite a lot of gamers. And I guess it's not only marketing. I guess it's not only a press. It's a fact that if you buy a game for Xbox Series S, you will have the worst experience really when it comes to, I guess, whether, graphics wise, performance wise. It's kind of still the same game, but, not necessarily at the same resolution, performance, or some graphic settings, right? So I guess people actually read about these things and they know these things, and they may not necessarily know all the bits and pieces about the specs and all the differences, but the information about Xbox Series S being the least powerful of them all, and the most limited this generation, I guess, does reach them. And I wonder, I'm just wondering if the lack of optical drive plays a role here too. And I get it that like these days most people buy games digitally for the most part, but like for me personally, having this optical drive is still important. I don't use it a lot, but it's there. If I'm going to get a game on sale somewhere in a box, right? I mean, there's no, I don't risk buying a game that I won't be able to play later because, hey, Xbox Series S doesn't come with an optical drive, right? So, I don't know. It's kind of weird. And, if something will change in the future, we'll see. But I don't think it will. I think that these days gamers are more mature, meaning that more and more adult people play games, and they buy their consoles not only for their kids but also for themselves, and that's why they go with power. They go with at least balance of power and price, right? They don't necessarily go for the cheapest option because I guess these days people are more educated about these things, right? Like we've been gaming, like people in their 40s, 50s, they've been, a lot of adults have been playing for like 20, 30 years, and we know quite a lot about these consoles and specs and the differences and that kind of stuff. Like, people are more educated about these things these days, and there is this ease of it's easy to access all kinds of information. There's a lot of comparisons. YouTubers actually plays a role about informing about these things too. So I guess that's why Xbox Series S is not selling that well. And I think that I don't think Xbox will go with 2 consoles at launch anymore. If anything, I think that the better approach is the PlayStation approach. So having only one console at the very beginning of the generation, and then you can follow up with a Pro version later, 3-4 years later. But I think what Xbox did wasn't really the brightest idea. They took a risk. I don't think it hurt them. I mean, worst case scenario, that much. I mean, yeah, there were some developers complaining about Xbox Series S, but for the most part, like, all games work on both consoles. So, like, hey, yeah, I guess it's more work for developers, but it doesn't really change for the consumer, I guess, that much. But I don't think that Microsoft will invest into consoles at the same time. It's more money, more investment. And I guess you can spread it out throughout the whole generation rather than just do it. And also less hassle to build just one console, one specs at a time, right? And in one time. So anyway, guys, so these are my thoughts on Xbox Series S. I understand that there's quite a lot of people enjoying Xbox Series S. I'm not saying it's a shitty console. I'm just saying that there's not enough of a demand for this console right now. And that's why, in my opinion, Xbox Series S was a mistake. Not from specs perspective, but yeah, I agree. I understand that there's some hurdles and issues that developers have to tackle developing for 2 consoles. But for the most part, I think what really stands out right now is the fact that people don't necessarily want to buy this console, right? So what's the point of having this console? I mean, Microsoft will have to stick to it right now, till the end of this generation. And I think that's why Xbox Series S may be not the only reason, but one of the reasons why Xbox will want to go first next generation, so start next generation a little bit earlier, because they won't have to worry about Xbox Series S anymore, right? So anyway, guys, that's the video. These are my thoughts on the matter. Let me know in the comment section below what you think about it. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care.